Other source of water to fill us up. So we're 15 feet under normal lake levels. So that's why you had to walk out that gangplank to come find us. And as we go along, you'll see millions of dollars spent on the houses, and they have backyards to deal with. We're at about 6 feet right around here, and it starts to climb up a bit. You look down the center of the lake lengthwise, that's 35 feet is our average depth. When we get down to the dam, it's 75 feet. And shrinking.
Yeah.
Water temperature according to Lake Patrol is 66 degrees, but still feels a little cold to me. If you look across the lake, you'll see that white building. That's our solar observatory. We swing by there on the end of the tour, but from here to there is approximately a half a mile. That's our average width of Big Bear Lake. You got in a kayak and did the full length, that's 7 miles. And you decided to do a light jog later and go all the way around the shoreline, that's 26 miles.
Good. There's a Big Bear Marina site.
You were at 7,000 feet in altitude.
Oh.
You go to the top of the ski hill, that's about 9,200 feet. That's why when you travel up here, you might get a little headache or feel dizzy. You travel with snacks, they puff up like pillows. Just to compare, you go to the base camp at Mount Everest, that's 18,000 feet.
Oh.
So even at this, you do have to tweak your baking and you do feel the effects. It's always fun watching the sports teams come up here to play our sports teams. They don't always fare so well with the altitude. So we're riding on a tri-tune. Our other renters, the pontoon, have 2 tubes. We have 3, keeping us afloat. The pontoon was invented in 1952 by a farmer in Minnesota. He actually took his front porch apart, welded into the steel tube, and that's how we got our pontoons. They're sometimes called a party boat, or in our case, a tour boat. They weren't meant for speed, but they did make one that went about 200 miles an hour. So I'm going to get up to my top speed. I'm going to have you put your seatbelts on. Ha 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 ha. Alright, hang on. Here we go. Woo! Feel the breeze. Alright, we're at 10 miles per hour. Woo! 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 The lake is beautiful. It's all smooth. So Big Bear's a 4-season resort, and I say that because we get a lot of people from Vegas, Arizona, there you go, and Southern California. We have all 4 seasons, nice, SoCal right here. We've got fall, winter, spring, summer. So we just said goodbye to spring. That's when the leaves bloom. We're allowed to put our boats back on the water, and our allergies bloom. That's the best fishing. The fish actually like the colder water. And then we just had our first fishing tournament of the season last weekend. So in our lake we have wide-mouth bass, rainbow trout, black crappie, bluegill, catfish, and the ones you see jumping out are the common carp, not so tasty. Then comes fall. We pull out those things called sweaters. We get our pumpkin spice lattes and we watch the leaves change. Amazing colors up here if you want to come back and visit. And then of course we rush over to Oktoberfest. Then in the winter, about Thanksgiving-ish, we'll get our first snowstorm. We all move over to the ski and snowboard hill, enjoy our winter sports. We average about 6 feet of snow per season. Our record was back in 1908. We got 16 feet per season. District, and of course, Big Bear Marina. Since 1906, California has hunted out every single grizzly bear. They're actually extinct in our state, even though they're on our state flag. You can find them in the Moonridge Zoo. You really want to see one in the wild, you go to Alaska. They have about 50% of the U.S. population of grizzlies up there. In 1950, the U.S. Forest Service went up to Yosemite and brought down the black bear into Southern California. About 6 of them, took 2 of them up here to Big Bear, and those are the ones that are populating the woods back in there. So the black bear is basically nocturnal. They don't really come out in the daytime. And they really don't. You're not as tasty as what's in the dumpster. Try not to splash them. Then what do you do with them? So the logging industry actually got started in 1845, but it was down at Running Springs, which is about halfway up San Bernardino Mountain Range. It was too expensive to do it for Big Bear. So what they did was chop the trees and left them right where they chopped them down. The dam was finished that December. They came back in the spring, problem solved. The lake had filled up, the trees were floating, so they pushed them over the shoreline and built some sawmills. Kramer from Seinfeld, Dual Time Out, Oscar de la Hoya, Mike Tyson. The ones that stayed, we have Shirley Jones from Partridge. The gossip is this the bubble wrap guy that invented bubble wrap, bought it as a second, third home? Is it the guy that invented Post-its? Or is it the guy that does major freeway construction? So about a month ago, what they would do is they'd drain out this entire lake, bring up cattle, and they would graze on a newly formed meadow that would irrigate the citrus groves and redlands. That went on all the way up until 1977. Then property owners got tired of watching their summers disappear. So they created the municipal water district up here, and we took control of how much water we would give away. Took about 3 inches off the surface. But up until recently, when we're still in the severe drought, you saw how much we evaporate in 1 year, and you're giving water away, you got to do something. So we created Replenish Big Bear. We keep the water, we're no longer under contract. I had a guest that had been in there, and she said you come around the boulder out of the bathroom, make your way around to the rest of the house. They're very nice people. They wave to me as I stare at their house every day. Nicknamed China Island. So of course you know how much we love to talk about people's houses. We talk about this one too. So the rumor was that they had this entire house shipped in from China as is. We're talking early 1900s on a horse and buggy. Not true.
Oh, okay.
Then the story was that they had the Chinese immigrants working on the dam come help her. Plausible, but not true. She was actually going out to China to visit her brother. What our guests are asking, I can't talk this morning, asking to come. The tiny birds underneath the spout are sparrows or swallows, not bats.